It's the clickening. We did it. We did the thing.
We did it. Yay.
That was relatively painless this time. All right. Episode 292. How exciting is that?
I know. Only what, 8 away from that big 300?
Yeah, we're for sure getting there. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I took your advice and I watched Presence.
Yes.
What an incredible movie. I had no idea it was that
Yeah,
good because I thought, oh, this is going to be wonky, right? I mean, it had me from the beginning.
totally. I mean, it you think that like your whole like perspective is okay, how is this going to go? Because when you hear what the just general concept is.
Yeah.
Um, but I think that has a lot to do with not only the aspect of the performers in the film, but I mean, you're talking about a masterful, skilled director who absolutely knows how to capture an audience eye. Um, and if you don't have that, if you don't have somebody that skilled, it's very, very hard to kind of pull off what he's able to do in that film.
I mean, we're talking Steven Soderbergh, right? So what is that?
Yeah.
Traffic. He did Sex Lies and
Oh,
Videotape. If we want to go like way back,
yeah. We want to go to the
A-
80s.
Aaron Brockovich. I mean, he did some amazing stuff. But then
Oh, yeah.
you want to partner him up with David Coep, who, I mean, come
Hmm.
on, Jurassic Park, Stir of Echoes, Spider-Man, Mission Impossible. I mean, the guy is just like
Oh, yeah.
an incredible screenwriter, and I was just blown away. So I was like, wow, this is really good. I had a feeling of what the ending would be.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I
Well, it
actually thought it
didn't.
was great. You didn't?
No.
All right, spoilers, guys. If you watch Presence, this is a spoiler. Um, we discover at the end of the film that the ghost is actually one of the characters. And I've always had, because I've done a lot of, like, I've read a lot of spiritual stuff, everything from the Bible to the Bhagavad Gita. I've always been fascinated with religion and spirituality, and I've always felt we have souls. We are souls within bodies. We are the souls, right? But if those souls, who is to say those souls are limited by time and place?
Right.
Who's to say that my soul isn't right now haunting some casino in Las Vegas from when I, you know, was a card shark 80 years
From a
ago. Do you
past
know what I
life.
mean? Yeah, exactly. I don't believe that souls are limited by time and space. So when I saw the end of that, I was like totally into it. I was like, absolutely, I love that take on it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I was very curious as to where it was going and what it was going to do, but yeah, then the ending hit and both of us kind of looked at each other and we're like, okay, let's like really talk through that because it really got us. It really did. And then we were just talking about that movie for days after, just days,
I
which is
love
that's when
that,
you
but
know a
that's when
film.
you know it's
Yeah.
like super good is when you're actually talking about it, or is it like I say when you're in the parking lot on the way home, right? You're talking about it. So I thought it was great. I mean, for a single location film written by like, the best, directed by the best, so good. Lucy Liu is, a great antagonist.
Oh
Um,
yeah,
yeah, if you
really
guys
great.
haven't seen Presence yet, absolutely go watch it. You'll be shocked and you'll enjoy it. Um, Also, we're taking screenwriting questions today. So if you have any, put them in the comments and we'll talk about them live. And I don't know if you know this, but I finally launched our script leads. So if people go on the Instagram link in our bio, it says script leads. They'll actually get weekly leads from producers for free that they can submit to.
Love it. Yes, do it for sure. That's
I mean, it's
awesome.
pretty awesome. Yeah. So have you seen anything lately, or you still been super busy?
No, we actually saw so we did see Good Boy this week. We went and
Oh, you
saw it
did?
a few days ago. So talking about two films this week that are from kind of a different perspective. So this is a recent film that came out that's basically kind of the perspective of the dog. So there's a dog and his owner, and they go to this house, and the owner's kind of like grandfather passed away, so he's there, wanting to spend time at his grandfather's old house, and things start to happen. And the dog, everything's from the dog's perspective. So you start to see the
Hmm.
world change around as the dog sees it. And it's not POV, kind of like presences where you're strictly POV from
Okay.
this
Yeah.
perspective.
Like low
It
camera angles is not like that.
Yeah, like
Okay.
you're on the level of the dog, but it shows the dog's emotion, it shows the dog
Oh
reacting to
wow.
things.
That's cool.
Um I thought it was great. I Because we're all animal lovers if we have pets, and we really love animals. And so we're all the director said something funny where he's like, we've all kind of thought like, what the heck is my animal looking at in the corner? And he's like, I wanted to explore that. So that was his inspiration of like, what is my dog barking at? Because we've all had those moments when
Oh
my cat's just
really?
staring in the corner, and I'm like, what are you looking at? But I
Ghost.
just thought it was like really just a I mean, this director and his team did an amazing job. They shot it over like 3 years. He said
Oh
it's his
wow.
dog, him and his wife. And so on weekends and when they had time, they would stage shots, and their whole house became the set. And when you're trying to get an animal who's not necessarily trained to
For
do
sure.
things, it's challenging. But um tonally and thematically, it's it's not um it wasn't something that was like a brand new concept. I don't want to spoil it too much for those who
Yeah.
want to see it, or don't really know much about it. You understand probably what's happening in the first 20 to 25 minutes. You get where it's going, but
Okay.
because it comes from this different angle of how the pet responds to what's emotionally happening to their owner, I thought it was great. It was just such a different take on how to do like a basic haunted house kind of feel. And I thought it was
Wow.
great. I loved it.
I mean, like 10 years ago, 15 years ago, that kind of experimental filmmaking, which really is what this is. I mean, it would have been panned right away. People would have just labeled it as
Oh,
pretentious or artistic. But I
hmm,
think now people are way more open to something new because everyone has complained, oh, it's all superhero movies now. And
right.
so I think you get something like Good Boy, like Presence, where they're really playing with. I mean, Presence is insane. I was looking into that. They only did about 30 scenes. That's it. Everything else
Hmm.
was oneers. They just did
Yeah.
long oneers. I mean,
Yeah.
absolutely incredible. I couldn't
Hmm.
believe it. So their filming days were short because they were getting so much done in one shot.
Yeah.
It's
I mean,
absolutely
that's a
amazing.
lot of prep. That is a
Oh,
lot of
for
state
sure.
that at lighting and everything, lighting is kind of a big thing kind of in our house, where we talk a lot about how you light a shot and how you light a scene. And when you basically have to just use practicals to kind of light a set and light a
Mhm.
house, that can be challenging, but it was just masterful. Yeah, Presence was great.
Watching them hit their marks, I mean, just, like, stepping back and going, "Wow, I can't believe they were able to do that shot," and it felt
Mhm.
emotional. It just didn't
Yep.
feel mechanical. It wasn't like some big action scene where you can just excuse it because 'cause you're lost in the fights. Like, these are people arguing, and they're going up and down stairs, and the camera's following 'em. It was really cool, man. So Presence is an absolute must if you love filmmaking.
Yes,
Um,
I agree.
did you find any trash screenwriting advice for me?
I haven't seen any this week.
Oh,
Usually I
that's
see
okay.
something at least once a week. I haven't, Jeffrey.
No, that's all right. I got reached out to by someone. When I get reached out to, like, by an email or a direct message, I don't like to use who they are because I feel like they're hitting me on the down low. So if you slide into my DMs, let's chat about it. Um, so this is a filmmaker who reached out in frustration, and honestly, I could totally understand why. They've done everything right. They did the shorts thing. They got enough popularity. They were able to get a manager, an agent. They got a film made with named stars, and then their career has kind of stalled. And
Mm,
so they're like, what do I do? Why has this happened? And of course, I don't know every little thing about their situation or what has happened, but a career stalling happens. I mean, you can do absolutely everything right.
Yeah.
And if I had to give my little bit of advice, and I definitely want to hear what you have to say, but I would say, is it time to rebrand? Is it time to recreate? Or if you just want to look at it as a filmmaker, is it time to shift genre? Like if you've been doing, let's say, for example, just, hard dramas and now nothing is going, what does the horror realm look like in your perspective? Maybe it's time to completely shift, but bring that uniqueness of whatever genre you were making and then put it into that new genre. And I bet you'd come out with something special that would turn heads. But that's my thoughts. What do you think?
I think back to a piece of advice that a really good friend of both of ours said a number of years ago, Joanne Hess.
I love
And
her,
I
my
remember her
bestie.
saying this specifically. I love her. But I remember her saying, even when you kind of hit a moment like that or a lull like that, it really comes down to what you're trying to say and what your voice is and knowing what your voice is. And so I think it kind of goes hand in hand with what
Yeah.
you're saying, Jeffrey, which is you may need to kind of look at shifting genres or trying something else, but really truly like what are you wanting to say?
Yeah.
Because sometimes it's not even necessarily how you want to say it. It's like what are you trying to say? And knowing what kind of message and what you want to put out there in terms of like who you are and what your brand is, that is your voice. And so yeah, if you've been doing comedies or if you've been doing I mean Jordan Peele for example was
Oh,
known
for
for
sure.
years comedy, just comedy, but always kind of wanted to dive into the different realm and had really interest in writing and doing different things. And so that's when he went down the road of, thriller and horror. And sometimes it's just kind of how can you take your voice and what you're trying to say and maybe
Yeah.
put it into a different presentation. So yeah, do you shift genres? Do you look at trying it instead of doing a film? Do you look at doing a web series? Do you look at
Yeah.
what can you do with that voice and what you're trying to kind of put out into the world with your brand?
I think that's amazing advice. If I even zoom out, right, and if I look at just the music industry, you
Hmm.
had Taylor Swift, she was a country singer, and then she went straight pop. You have the exact
Hmm.
opposite. You have Kid Rock, who was a rapper and went country. And all of these kind of artists, they kind of shifted into these different genres and picked up steam. So I think, yeah, finding your voice and then applying that in whatever avenue interests you,
Sure.
hopefully is a way to kind of break that loop.
Yeah. And we always know, and for those that don't know, even when I first started out, I was hanging on to kind of like one or two projects that I felt like was like, this is me, this is who I know who I am, and
Mhm.
this is what I want to put out there. And that's all I focused on. But you get some momentum and then it dies, or you get some momentum on the other thing and then it dies. And then you're like, I've got these two things and they're great. Why doesn't anybody want them? You can't really just focus on one aspect or one thing. So if you've got a great film or two underneath your belt and then you're still just trying to push that, and it's lulling and you are kind of stalled out, it is time to kind of move on and just create some more new things and find a new avenue.
Yeah, I agree. All right. So I'm gonna check here and see if we have any questions. If you guys have any, please type them in. We'll see what you got. All right. So John asked about the script leads that we're offering. Yes, they are free leads and they are through Inktip, and there is no any kind of commitment necessary. I love Inktip, and we have worked with them for years now, and I believe in them. And they've actually had lots of successes. So you can take advantage of that. Let's see if there's anything else on here. Another person asked about Christopher Nolan's vampire movie and pre-production. I don't know anything about that. Have you heard anything about a Nolan vampire film?
A Christopher Nolan?
Because
Um,
He's doing the Odyssey right now, isn't
he's
he?
doing the Odyssey right now. Yeah, that's
Yeah, and
from
it's
what I
got like
understood.
everyone from Hollywood in it.
It's like
Like literally,
You're looking for Catholic.
they took Hollywood and they emptied it out into Christopher Nolan's pocket, and now he's making the Odyssey. I haven't heard anything about it. Now I'm interested. I'm really curious because I'm seeing more and more vampire stuff, which is making me think, these things are cyclical.
Yes.
So we're gonna see more vampire stuff, and then we'll probably start seeing, werewolf stuff again or something like that. So that's really interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, because I think that there was I mean, zombies had their pretty big stretch and their pretty good wave for quite some time, and now the whole vampire
Yeah.
kind of thing is with Dracula and everything coming out. Um,
Are they gonna
no,
be
I mean,
shiny
I
like
just pulled it up.
diamonds?
Yeah. I just pulled it up. It says there's no official Christopher Nolan movie right now. I mean,
Okay.
it's kind of unconfirmed.
Interesting. All right. Well,
So it's rumored, but I at this point, Christopher Nolan really can do anything if he wants to. So if he's going down that road
right.
and he's going to do something,
What about his brother doing Fallout on Amazon? Did you watch that?
I did not watch Fallout. I have a love-hate interesting relationship when it comes to adaptations recently.
Oh,
So I
okay.
just take it with a grain of salt. What did you think? I'm not a huge I don't really know the
I
game.
like Fallout. I like the Fallout
Okay.
games. I've been playing them with my son forever. I mean, since he was little. And I think Jonathan Nolan is brilliant. He
I mean,
did the Westworld TV show. He did the Westworld reboot,
yeah.
and
Yeah, and
I think
season
he's
1 of
great.
Fallout was good. I mean, it was good.
Yeah,
I liked it.
yeah.
I just, I don't wanna get my hopes up and then
Oh, for us. So
bad.
here's the thing: season 2 is going to take place in a video game from Fallout called New Vegas.
New Vegas, yeah.
And it takes place, which is one of the best Fallout games, you ask me. I even got to interview one of the writers on this show, Jonathan Gonzalez, and they're going to
Awesome.
New Vegas. I am so excited to see where that goes. So I'm really
Yeah.
hoping that he keeps that momentum going forward. I liked all the characters, I liked all the plots, the acting, the special effects. It's absolutely incredible. So I mean, I was not disappointed when I would watch the show. I'll tell you that much.
No, I mean, I watched it not knowing the games very well and enjoyed the show for what it was. I don't wanna be one of those ones that talks about, like, adaptation versus show since I don't know the source material as well. But
Yeah.
I did think season 1 was good. My son is a huge, Vegas Fallout fan,
Oh,
so
really?
he's definitely
Nice.
excited, yeah, that they're going that way in season 2. And Walter Goggins was awesome. I mean, come on. He was great.
I think he was great. I always get worried when actors kind of pop too big because then
Mhm.
eventually they have the downfall, right? And so I'm
Yeah.
hoping that it doesn't happen. I know people have already predicted that Walton Goggins is the next one that everybody's gonna love to hate.
Mm.
Because Pedro Pascal had that whole thing, and I mean, you've seen like Jennifer Lawrence, like everybody, they get so big, everybody loves them, they're in everything, and then nobody wants to see
They're in
them
everything.
anymore. So yeah,
And it's unfortunate because some of
yeah, it's
them are
crazy.
a lot of them are yeah, they're great. I think Timothy Chalamet is another one that
Yeah,
for a while there in a stretch he was in everything, but I think he's just extremely talented. So I hate to see that happen to people.
I know, and I can't blame these actors for taking all of this work. I mean, if I had that much
No.
writing work coming in, sure, I'll write every damn
Yeah.
thing under the sun.
I know
You
if the
want a
phone's
Kool-Aid
ringing,
commercial?
pick it up.
Done. You want a hard
Got it.
drama? Done. I'll be
You
that
want a
guy.
live action Frosted Flakes? I'll do it. It's
I'll
fine.
do it right here. I'll star in it. Let's go. Yeah, I mean, work is work, so I can't blame him for it. All right. Well, I don't have anything else. Do you?
No, I mean, I was just trying to think of like some other things that I've kind of heard in terms of um, screenwriting advice and stuff, but um yeah, I just can't think of anything right now. It's been kind of a crazy week. We released our newest project that we were working on, so I've been kind of full hands down in marketing and
Awesome.
publicity for that. And
Congratulations. Where can people see that?
they can see it on Real Short. So you can go to realshort.com or you can download the Real Short app, which is a vertical drama app. And it's called The Witch Wolf's Mate. And
Nice.
yeah,
Awesome.
it's
Congrats.
doing good. 16 episodes. It's got a lot of views, and it was a lot of fun to make. Labor of love. We had a good time. Fun
I
times.
I the vertical thing is starting to take off now, which kind of blows my mind because there what was it like 4 or 5 years ago, there was a vertical platform that came on
Mhm.
and it blew up big and then they went bankrupt. And then vertical
Quibi.
platform Quibi, yeah. So,
Quibi.
like,
Yeah.
Quibi started it, right? It was
Mhm.
going big, they went bankrupt, and then vertical platforms disappeared, and now they're back. But now it
Yeah. And
feels like it's actually gonna stay.
it is gonna stay. And I think there's an interesting kind of dynamic with that because Quibi was kind of the TikTok before TikTok, right? And
Okay.
so then we had then we had 2020, and the dynamic of everybody's even viewing habits and behaviors
Yeah.
changed, where everyone's at home and they're watching streaming, or they're on their phones and they're watching their phone stuff. And I think that's where, before we were still before 2020, everybody was still kind of in a normal sense of theater goers, and it was the big superhero movie trend, and there was the big series and everything. And then afterwards we just became smaller consumers and
Yeah.
on the go consumers, or mobile consumers. And so I think that's why these apps have really taken off, and they've
Yeah.
taken off for not only for that, but it's just a different approach. So the approach was, um, the content has to be so, like, diluted down to these very just highly dramatic, catchy, hooky kind of stories. And what better way to do that than to do something that's almost kind of like a soap opera, right? So you're
Yeah.
writing in that regard. Every episode has to have like a little hook. There has to be heavy, huge drama. It can't just be something that you really have to sit down and like deeply dive into a story and get super invested in. These are meant to be consumed quickly and with that kind of manic kind of pacing. And so that was the approach that they took with these. And I think that's why they're doing so well and they're taking off. Plus marketing. I mean, when you market on TikTok, vertical stuff that you can just go to another app and like watch vertical stuff all day long that's not necessarily TikTok, there you go.
How long are these episodes?
Each episode generally runs about 45 seconds to 90
Wow.
seconds.
Oh my
Some of them will
god.
go up to 2 minutes.
That's
So
wild.
you've got a minute and 30 seconds to kind of pack in a lot. And it is really like more telling and not showing,
Yeah.
honestly,
Well, yeah.
because you've got such a short amount of time and you've got a short frame. So there's really not a lot visually that you can show. The characters are really just having like very dramatic interactions with each other, which is why these are as big as they are.
I kind of love that though for beginning filmmakers out there, indie people out there that got
Mhm.
a decent camera or even a nice iPhone, a bunch of friends, and they want to make stuff. It sounds like this is what you should be doing.
Yeah, I mean, definitely dive into it because it is picking back up. And these apps now are realizing it. A lot of these are well-funded app companies and production companies out of China and Asia, and started with a lot of like the romantic kind of dramas and the rom-commy kind of stuff, and like, billionaire meets the girl down the street kind of thing. But slowly now they're becoming a lot more genre focused. And so there's a number of them that are getting into like more thriller and more horror, or more like action and more, you
That's
know,
awesome.
yeah. And so there's a market for that. If you really want to maybe try your hand out there, um, try doing a vertical. Very, very different approach in terms of filmmaking. Definitely do your
There you
research
go.
because we learned
I
a
love
lot.
it.
But yeah, something to really look into for those who are wanting to do something.
You heard it here, guys. If you want to get out there and do
Yeah.
something instead of sitting around, try vertical. It feels a little bit almost like the birth of YouTube, where everybody started doing it. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. All right,
We'll
Christy,
see. We'll see where it goes.
you want to do this again next week?
Let's do it. Let's do it again next week. Bring everybody bring your questions.
Absolutely.